Alright, we're back with another video. And today I'm pretty excited because we're going to be taking a look at the style of another one of my favourite blues guitar players, Albert King. Now I recently put together a video on the stylings of B.B. King, and Albert King is another one of the kings that make up the three kings of blues. Now that track I played at the start was part of a feature I put together for Guitar Techniques magazine. And before we get cracking on the nitty gritty, feel free to hit that subscribe button, and you can also follow me on Instagram at John Bishop Guitar. So I just want to talk a little bit about the sound and also the articulation, and also a little bit of background on the Albert King setup. Now Albert King famously played a flying V guitar but had the strings up the other way, so the highest string was placed at the top where the bass string usually is, and vice versa. And this provided a couple of key advantages when doing string bending. Now the way the hands evolved makes it very strong for gripping, holding onto trees, carrying shopping bags, but not so strong at pushing the fingers away. So if we're doing a string bending style where we're pushing the fingers away, that's not going to be quite as strong as pulling down on the strings. And Albert King had the advantage of pulling down on the strings using the grip of the hand, so this cultivated a really fluid vocal sounding string bending technique with plenty of attack and aggression if required. Now I was using a hybrid picking technique there with the pick and the fingers, and it sounds quite effective if the strings are plucked and sort of hit back off of the fretboard, and that can help to provide that squealing attack when it's needed. Now you can get pretty close to the Albert King lead tone by taking a clean amp and turning it up really loud. I've got that simulated in Amplitude, which means I can turn up the master volume and still have it at volumes that will work within a room. I've also got the bridge pickup selected. Now a flying V is nice to have, but it's not hugely important to the sound. Just select your bridge pickup and also get that loud, clean tone that's slightly breaking up, and we're good to go. So next up, let's take a look at the classic Albert King playing positions. We're in the key of A, so the A root note is there on the 10th fret of the second string, and I'm going to fret that with finger 3. The next fret we're looking for is fret number 8 on the first string, followed by fret 10 on the first string. Again, I can use my third finger to come across and play that one. And this allows me to string bend up to fret 12 to get those classic Albert King phrases going. So you should find bending with finger number 3 with finger 2 and 1 behind for support pretty easy to do. And Albert King was a fan of also bending the strings with fingers 1 and 2. And this is something that's a little bit more challenging. So if we bend up from fret 10 and then follow that with a string bend with finger 1, we can get all sorts of different sounds. We can also incorporate finger 2 into the mix. So when I'm string bending, I try and miss fretting the B string by going underneath it. But I can get some of those classic Albert King sounds by just fretting the B string as I go across. So you can hear that provides a pretty chaotic sounding double stop. Now the other position you'll find a lot of those Albert King licks in is box number 1. And this is located at fret number 5. And you can finger this one with finger 3 on the 8th fret, finger 1 on the 5th fret, and then repeat that for the second string. And then fret 7 and 5 for the 3rd, 4th and 5th strings. And in my performance solo, I use that box shape for the turnaround phrases. And you can hear the finger vibrato is quite wide and also quite fast. So I'll take you through some of the key phrases in my intro solo, and then I'll flash up the full tab with the performance, and then I'll repeat the backing track so you can have a go. And remember to use the YouTube slow downing feature, because it's quite handy to go through all of these ideas slowly at first, get them under your fingers, and then raise the tempo back up. So we start in the classic Albert King position, and that first phrase, bend up fret 10 to fret number 12, then go to fret number 8, Then I went down to that box number 1 position. And that's a classic Albert King phrase. Again, a little bit of vibrato on that finger 1 if you can get it. And then that finger vibrato on fret number 5. And then we go into the original box shape, and this time I'm going to add a little bit of a stinging vibrato with finger 1. And we've got a couple more phrases in this original position. And then we finish off with our classic box 1 turnaround. So Albert King's playing style has had a huge influence on many blues guitar players, most notably Stevie Ray Vaughan and also Eric Clapton. And you can clearly hear that aggressive vocal bending style in both Eric Clapton and Stevie Ray Vaughan's style. I'm going to play the backing track with my solo on with the tab up so you can study it through, and then I'll just play the backing track so that you can practice along yourself. Let me know how you get on in the comments below. Have fun with it, and I'll see you next time.